Wherever the ancient Greeks explored and settled, they carried their gods with them to Italy, Spain, Syria, Egypt, and even to Afghanistan, known to them as Bactria. There the Greeks and their gods left an impression so powerful that even now, thousands of years later, in the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, under austere Taliban rule, the Greek language, the name and title of a Greek king, and an image of the Greek gods he worshipped appear prominently on official state currency. That's just part of the amazing story of the Greeks and their gods in Afghanistan. We know from archaeological, epigraphic, and numismatic evidence that many Greek gods were brought to Bactria. Each one of these deities may be found on coins, jewelry, inscriptions, and other artifacts, as if Mount Olympus had spilled itself onto Afghan soil. There is, however, one divinity on this list that seems particularly far from home, particularly out of place. Can you guess who it is? No, not Father Zeus, nor hunky Heracles. Not Athena, the goddess of war, wisdom, and weaving. Not Helios, the god of the sun. Not the hearth goddess Hestia, nor the messenger god Hermes. Not Apollo or his twin sister Artemis. Not the twin horsemen, the Dioscuri. Not the victory goddess Nike, the wine god Dionysus, nor even three-faced Hecate, the goddess of magic and witchcraft. And that leaves but one, Poseidon, the great god of the seas. What is he doing in the landlocked expanse of Bactria so far from his watery realm? Modern scholars have thought about and fought about this one for centuries. We find Poseidon standing upon the coins of King Antimachus the god, whose title Theos reminds us that these Greek kings themselves were declared divine. Poseidon on these coins poses a problem for many historians, hard-pressed to explain why he's there. In 1836, the numismatic expert Raoul Rouchet suggested that this image must celebrate some naval victory, but not in Bactria, of course, and not even by Antimachus. He wondered if perhaps a Seleucid king of Syria had defeated one of the Ptolemies of Egypt, and Antimachus in Bactria wanted to congratulate the winner from 2,300 miles away. Sounds silly now, but Rouchet could think of nothing better. In 1838, Christian Lasson imagined that Antimachus had won a naval battle against some unknown adversary down on the lakes of Drangiana, still a very long way from Bactria. Wherever seas, large rivers, or lakes can be found between the Mediterranean and the Indian Ocean, experts have suggested that a naval battle there might account for the presence of Poseidon on Bactrian coins. Some even believe that this putative engagement pitted a Bactrian navy, of which there is no evidence, against a navy manned by invading nomads, a particularly unlikely scenario. Too often we forget that Greek gods could govern more than just one aspect of life. Poseidon was also known as the god of powerful earthquakes. And if there is one thing more common in the area of ancient Bactria than large bodies of water, it's earthquakes. Afghanistan averages more than 300 major quakes every year, a phenomenon keeping Poseidon the Earthshaker very busy there. So perhaps the coins of Antimachus were meant to appease this unpredictable deity. There is but one major flaw in this argument. The problem is that palm of victory carried by the god. Why would earthquakes entail some sort of triumph for King Antimachus and his subjects? This difficulty forces us to consider the third aspect of Poseidon's rule over men. He was not only the god of the sea and of earthquakes, but also of horses and horsemanship. As Poseidon Hippias, the equestrian Poseidon, this deity was perfect for Bactria, one of the most celebrated horse-breeding regions in the ancient world. Its cavalry horses were legendary, and so was the military prowess of the men who rode them. Even today, horses still play a prominent role in Afghanistan. Believe it or not, when U.S. forces first rode into battle there after 9/11, They did so not in Humvees, but on horseback alongside their Afghan allies from the Northern Alliance. Little wonder that horses appear on royal Bactrian coins, but never any ships or boats. This was horse country. And that brings us to that palm of victory. It suggests a cavalry battle won by the Greeks under the protection of Poseidon Hippias, an event quite likely for the kingdom of Bactria. Furthermore, we know from this rare parchment tax receipt that King Antimachus the god shared power with a second Antimachus, presumably his son. When we look at the coins minted by Antimachus II, we find the goddess of victory, Nike, holding a palm branch, and this Antimachus boasts the title Nikephoros, bearer of victory. Is this the cavalry triumph he shared with his father? The other side of the coin drives home this possibility, for it shows the king as a cavalry commander on horseback, turning his head to face the viewer as he gallops by. So in the end, we may understand how and why Poseidon joined so many other Greek gods in the ancient kingdom of Bactria, and why some of them even persist today on the money of Afghanistan. I'm Dr. Frank Held Holt, and this has been part of My Ancient World. If you enjoy this channel, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you here next time.